the McDaniels hire is quite clearly a continuation of the Patriot dynasty, right? This is his third time through. He's been there, done that with Brady, all those things. And there is at least a small portion that says, I don't like it. Why is this a Robert Kraft hire? And we'll get some audio from that later because I do personally believe that this may not be a Robert Kraft hire, but when he started the process, his vision was Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels.
So you don't believe that this was forced upon?
No.
Mike Vrabel was told at contractuals, hey, BT Dubs, we're going to go through the search, but McDaniels is going to be your OC.
But right. No, I don't think it was forced upon, but I think it was suggested, this is what we'd like to do. This we think makes sense unless you have a better option. I don't know the exact phrasing. So they went through their interviews, right? They interviewed the Bears interim coach, Thomas Brown. Marcus Brady from the Chargers. So
Grant Udinsky.
Yeah, that one I let you say because I still struggle with that name. Udinsky, who's apparently a bit of a phenom in the coaching circles.
Kind of a fancy, he's like the new Kellen Moore, or is he like a LaFleur?
No, I think more of almost like a McVay, or people have him going places fast and furious. But they interviewed all those guys, and then they interviewed last Josh McDaniels, and boom, get a deal done, slide right into the role. So I almost don't really care because my response is simple. Now, I'm biased. I said it yesterday. I like Josh. I've known Josh for a long time. I am compromised a little bit. But I'm also compromised. Was Rap Sheet lying in that cut we just played? Is Josh not one of the most accomplished offensive coordinators? No. Not that part. Okay. Is he not one of the best offensive coordinators of the last 10 years, 20 years in the National Football League?
Funny thing, too, about his recent failure as head coach, second stint that definitely went worse than the first, because the first at least got off to a good start, and then things fell apart. In 2022, looking back, the Raiders did have 28 passing touchdowns, 4,300 passing yards, and 6,000 yards of total offense.
He can coach offense.
They can coach. He just can't coordinate the rest of the team.
He can't run a team. He can't pull people together and staff and personnel and all those things. Everything that comes on the desk of a head coach, I'm not sure I want him doing it. But if you just say, see that guy right there, he's a quarterback. I need him to be really good. I need us to move the ball, score points, win games, do things on that side of the ball that are productive. What doesn't Josh do well? Okay, if you're a cynic, give me devil's advocate here. Because some of you people, and I put you as a face of you people out there, some of you people don't love Josh and what he's done. There are some. Okay. What does he lack? What is, as a coordinator, you don't get to bring up anything that involves head coaching or any of that. What does he lack? What has he not done as a coordinator? Because when I look at it, I go, well, when he had a great quarterback, he had great offenses. Mm-hmm. When he had to piece it together, most times he found ways to piece it together, whether it was for a couple weeks in New England, early with Kyle Orton in Denver.
How about a whole season in New England?
The whole thing.
Three other quarterbacks not named Tom Brady he coached to arguably one of their better seasons or got the most out of them. Michael McCorkle-Jones, Cameron Jarrell-Newton, and, of course, Matt Castle.
So he must not be creative. Oh, wait. Some of the biggest highlights in the history of this organization in the postseason are creative calls, trick plays, different things.
Do your jobs, 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, Ben Johnson, when he had a wide receiver throw in the playoffs, you know what it did? It worked.
It worked. It became one of the top 5 plays in organizational history.
So, what does Josh McDaniels not do well? What does Josh McDaniels not bring to the table?
Play again for the first time ever.
You're not listening? You're really lost in your own idiocy?
I needed a drink and a cigarette for a moment there. So,
what does he not do well? You people don't like him?
No,
what does he not do well?
No, some people. You need to requalify on this one. It's not we people. It's not you people. It's some people. Some people do not like Josh Williams. Okay. You have people like our producer, Josh McDaniels.
Who's Josh Williams? Now you're doing my thing.
You don't know Josh Williams? Nope. Oh, man, he's something else.
Did you go to school with him? High school? College?
Some people don't like Josh McDaniels because they think that he is, at times, a little arrogant, perhaps.
Oh, wait, arrogant coaches can't succeed here?
Didn't say. Also, a little didactic, demanding.
Wait, is Vrabel not arrogant?
Very well, maybe.
He's one of the more arrogant people I've ever seen, and I love him.
Right. We may all learn to love this, but these seem to be some of his trappings. There was an inflexibility about him, I believe, that people felt in other organizations led to his demise. What if he got out over his skis?
I told you no. We're not allowed to bring up head coaching.
Well, why? Then I have no issue. Oh,
he's not the head coach. What does he not do well? Why
here?
won't he be good as the offensive coordinator?
He's
what
going
is
to
his
be
baggage?
Good. He's not going to be good. He's going to be excellent
because
as the
for a
offensive
guy
coordinator.
who you said may not have been flexible, he won with dink and dunk. He won with running the ball. He won with F it, let's just throw bombs and kick people's asses. He won with trick plays. He won with outsmarting you in loopholes. Stiz in the back raising his hand. Yes, Stiz.
But shouldn't ultimately the question be, is this the guy Mike Vrabel wanted?
Not necessarily. I think that's part of the question.
Is that the most important question? Or is this, the best guy for the job?
If Drake Maye throws 40 touchdown passes and 11 interceptions next year while rushing for 800 yards and another 6 touchdowns.
I need another drink in a smoke.
And they go to the postseason, you think Mike Vrabel's going to be like, yeah, but I didn't really want him. I wanted somebody else, and I can't believe they didn't let me. No, because you'll ride the wave of success and credit to the playoffs.
If things go perfectly.
No, if
things
go well.
Perfectly, just well. Because
better than they've gone for, I don't know,
since Josh McDaniels left?
Yes, basically since Josh left.
How about this? Try these slacks on for size, kid. The idea that maybe just with Josh McDaniels, in addition to his track record, some of the highlights when he was a coach, but more importantly, his work as OC of the NEP, now thrice on the job, guess where he's going? Aside from to the 99 for dinner or, maybe to Whole Foods and, of course, Gillette Stadium. Nowhere. Because Mike LaFleur says yes to the job. He's great here for a year or two. Guess what? The LaFleur Bowl on Sunday Night Football.
Most of them.
Grant Udinsky. If he's super great, it's Udinsky. I looked it up, by the way. Grant Udinsky.
What are you calling me?
Udinsky. Grant Udinsky. Yeah. He does really well. Guess what? There's rap sheet 2 years from now on Hello, It's Touchdowns in the morning.
Maybe one, the way the NFL works these days.
And in an unprecedented move, we now have the youngest coach in the history of football, Hoy Glavin Flavin, as Grant Udinsky takes over for the Los Angeles Rams.
Along those lines, I did see old friend Kyrie Thompson, formerly of WEEI.com, now of NPR, I believe. He, or WBUR.
Not Patriots Radio, yes.
He tweeted something like, everybody says that one of the arguments for McDaniels is that he's not going anywhere. Well, not so fast. Isn't it possible that, some NIL rich school and college in 2 years throws money at him? That's possible. They could offer. My belief is
rich.
Also, he has no desire to coach at the college level. Now, maybe that changes. Bill Belichick is there, but
he doesn't want to Matt Rule it and go to Nebraska and sort of start to feel himself again.
From what I understand, my understanding of the situation, he is a pro coach. He wants to do pro coach things. He doesn't want to deal with NILs and boosters and money and recruiting your own players. And, I have a guy that starts at receiver, but he might transfer as soon as the season ends, and I got to find another receiver. I don't get him for 2 or 3 years. I've sort of been under the understanding he wants no part of that world. So
it's more confusing than the NFL now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's more stressful. And it's part of why you saw right up the street a coach, boom, I want to go to Green Bay. It's part of why you saw Chip Kelly coaching offense on Monday night in the title game rather than coaching his entire team, because being a head coach in college is stressful and probably not all that enjoyable at times. So I think Hafley had a comment where the only time he loved being a head coach was when on the second and fourth week of the month or whatever, when the paycheck came in.
Right.
Like, that's how stressful that life is.
It used to just be guys like Spurrier and Saban would make the jump from college to the pros and say, whoa, hold on a second. I like 9 to 5 in college where I can still get out for a supper or maybe go play golf. Now, all of a sudden, it's, geez, Belichick putting in 18 hours a day with the Patriots is less than I'm putting in on these programs, recruiting, NILing, and dealing with the transfer portal.
There's just too much. There's too much. So Josh McDaniels, I think, at least for an extended period of time, will be quite happy coaching Drake Maye, coaching the Patriots offense, and seeing what he can build or rebuild the third time through Foxborough.